Welcome to 5 Points of Articulation, where I review action figures and then articulate 5 points to help you decide if you want to add that figure to your collection. The 5 points I discuss are packaging, presentation, posability, playability, and price. I'm Jason, and if you enjoy my content, please like, share, subscribe, do all of the YouTube rigmarole. Today, we're taking a final look at the new McFarlane Toys Superpowers Wave 1 with Darkseid and the Supermobile. Starting off with the packaging, and we have a wonderful tribute to the classic Superpowers card. We've got our Superpowers logo, our Darkseid logo. I didn't even know Darkseid had a logo. Bubble telling us it's new for 22, and a big old picture of Darkseid. What's cool about this is that it's clearly new 52 Darkseid, but the artwork does look kinda retro. Darkseid is definitely bigger than the other figures we looked at, but instead of giving him a bigger card, they just gave him a bigger bubble. I really appreciate that, and it gives me a lot of hope for other larger scale characters down the line. For those of you who don't know a lot about Darkseid, you could pause here to read this, and then pause here to read the rest of it. The Supermobile is similarly decked out, nice drawing of it, but up here we have a picture of it, and the back shows us all the features. Can you tell that I like the packaging of this line? Is it coming through? That being said, it should come as no surprise that for packaging, Superpowers gets 1 whole point. Moving on to presentation, a Darkseid stands at just over 5.5 inches. The Supermobile, however, is 13 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 5¼ inches high. First things first, in this version of Darkseid, it's based on his look from the new 52 era of comic books. From the top, and Darkseid has a mischievous little smirk. His eyes are bright and vibrant, no doubt ready to pummel you with some omega beams. Crackly rock-like skin. His weird little helmet that does nothing to protect his prefrontal cortex. And then moving down, we can see some of the earmarks of the new 52 Darkseid. This red light thing that doesn't at all look like Iron Man. Some yellow details on a buckle. Big craggy shoulder pads, even craggier arms, and big blue gauntlets that, come to think of it, also look like Iron Man. Do I need to bring out Stealth Iron Man early this episode? Flipping him around and we can see more of that line work. What I like about this is that it really reminds me of the artwork of Jack Kirby. For those of you who don't know, at one point Jack Kirby defected from Marvel to create the new gods, Darkseid included, and even though this isn't how he designed them, it does have his aesthetic all over it. I seem to remember that Jim Lee is the one that came up with this design, and yeah, these boots and knee pads have him all over it. Come to think of it, this version of Darkseid's a lot like Apocalypse. The Supermobile, however, is a much older design from the comics. You might be wondering why Superman would need a Supermobile. It was actually created to replicate his powers on the rare occasion that he lost them. The first thing you'll notice are these giant metal arms. These, of course, are to recreate his super strength. We'll talk more about them during playability. Similar to the Batwing, it has the symbol of its trademarked hero. And again, just like the Batwing, it serves a secondary purpose. Another Superman logo on the top fin, and some Superman diamond-shaped vents. Flipping around back, we can see the rocket boosters. Nowhere to plug a figure stand in this time. And again, just like the Batwing, it comes preloaded with some cockpit stickers. I'm pretty sure they're the same stickers, just in a different shape. But again, I didn't have to put them on, so I'm happy. Because it's such a different design as the original, I don't feel myself quite as critical as Darkseid as I did of Batman and Superman. If I had the original in front of me, I'm sure I could find more to nitpick, but I'm kinda glad that I don't. It helps me to enjoy this figure based on its own merit so much more. As for the Supermobile, it's such a deep cut that I'm surprised we got it at all. It's something I could totally imagine the original line doing, and McFarlane Toys knocked it out of the park. For presentation, I'm giving the Superpowers Darkseid and Supermobile 1 whole point. Moving on to posability, and just like the other figures in the series, Darkseid has 7 points of articulation. Disc swivel at the head, disc swivel at the shoulder, and T-style swivel hips. That can kick this far. And he also has a single jointed hinge knee. The Supermobile also has some moving parts, but those are best discussed during playability. You can't really knock a figure for having limited articulation when the limited articulation is on purpose. For posability, I'm giving the Superpowers 1 whole point. Moving on to playability, and Darkseid has a hole in the cape! Oh wait, wrong figure. Anyway, unlike the original Superpowers, he doesn't have any kind of action feature, but that's alright because there are a lot of features in the Supermobile. Just like with the Batwing, that big red S isn't just for show. Push the button and... Again, just putting a regular hinge in there would have been cheap and easy, but this is so much fun. But that's not all. These fists were made for punchin'. Flipping the Supermobile upside down, and you'll see a knob on the bottom. Give the knob a twist, and the fists do this. I absolutely love this. And a left and a right, and a left and a right, and 1, 2, 1, 2. Pop quiz, how does Ezra Miller say hello? To quote Master Chef Emeril Lagasse, BAM! Seeing this level of creativity really makes me wish that McFarlane had been making more children's toys all along. I know we think of them as more high-end collectibles, and they do really excel at that, but there's just a lot of ingenuity here. But wait, there's more! See these panels on the sides? They actually open up, both of them. Clearly this is where Superman hides his contraband. Just got back from a trip to Mexico, and let's just say I got a whole lot of the green stuff back here. The kryptonite? Yeah, kryptonite. But playability is more than just action features and thinly veiled drug humor. It's also about how well your figures play with others. Unfortunately, I don't have the original superpowers to compare them to. In fact, I don't have a lot of other Darkseid figures at all. That said, I do have this Total Justice one by Kenner. He's got a big old lobster claw. And here we have the DC Multiverse Gold Label Snyder Cut Megafig by McFarlane. For some heroes, and starting off with Batman, we have the pocket version by Mego, the OG Superpowers, DC Comic Superheroes by Toy Biz, and then scaling up just a little bit, we've got Legends of Batman by Kenner, Total Justice also by Kenner. They scale okay, but aesthetically they're just a bit too different. Batman Missions. At this point, the company had switched from Kenner to Hasbro. Justice League by Mattel. I know Darkseid didn't look like this in the cartoon, but this does actually kind of work. And then the new Superpowers Batman by McFarlane. Moving on to the rest of the league, and here we have the Superpowers Wonder Woman, and here we have Justice League Unlimited by Mattel. Here we have the original Superpowers Flash, and also the one by Toy Biz that's inferior in every conceivable way. Here we have Green Lantern. Really hope McFarlane fills out the core. Aquaman. Would love the 90s version of him with the hook hand. And then finally, for the Man of Tomorrow, here we have the original Kenner Superpowers, the Toy Biz one, the animated series by Kenner. To be honest, I kind of like this Darkseid more than the way he looked on the actual show. Justice League by Mattel, and the new Superpowers by McFarlane. That said, I do want to look at the Man of Steel series by Kenner, not just for this Superman, but also for Steel. This is one character we need from McFarlane in every conceivable line. More than just heroes, I was also curious to see how he scaled with the Man of Steel Doomsday and Massacre. Side note, is he just Winnie the Poohing it? For some other villains, and here we have the Superpowers Joker, the Toy Biz Joker, Toy Biz Penguin, Toy Biz Mr. Freeze, and Toy Biz Lex Luthor. For a couple of Spin Master comparisons, and here he is with Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Personally, I think they look great together. For a different kind of Darkseid, here he is with the Galaxy of Heroes Darth Vader. For a retro scale comparison, and here we have Secret Wars Spidey and Marvel Superhero Spidey, and as always, here he is with Stealth Iron Man. But for a very special comparison, here's the all-new Supermobile alongside the original 1979 one by Corgi. This one also really packed a punch. Of course, one thing you might be wondering is what Superman figures can fit in there. None of them! It's way too small. Obviously, the new McFarlane one fits in there just fine. The original Superpowers is a super fit. Toy Biz is no trouble. Animated series legs are too long and too wide. Man of Steel can get in there, but you will have to ditch the cape. And if you try really hard and shove the cape really far down, you can get Justice League in there too. This Darkseid not only goes great with your Superpowers collection, but is also a great complement to other small-scale DC lines. I dare say he's my favorite figure in the line so far. The Supermobile was a genius idea to include and is a lot of fun. Not only that, but it brings me back to fond childhood memories of playing with the Corgi one. I'm really hoping a future wave will include an updated version of Wonder Woman, and maybe even her invisible jet. For playability, I'm giving Darkseid and the Supermobile 1 whole point. This leaves us with nothing left to discuss but the price. The Supermobile retails for $29.99, which given how big it is and everything it does is pretty reasonable. What surprised me is that Darkseid was only $9.99, same as the other figures. This despite how much bigger he is. It would have been easy for McFarlane to call this a deluxe figure and charge even more, but he didn't, and I really appreciate that. For price, I'm giving Darkseid and the Supermobile 1 whole point for a grand total of 5 out of 5. If you missed either of my other 2 Superpowers videos, you can check those out here. What do you think of this line so far, and what characters and vehicles would you like to see next? Sound off in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again real soon, but until then, play nice and have fun.